Samsung has just unveiled its newest smartphones. The iTech giant revealed the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus yesterday, and we've got one at the table just before the start of the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. So the new features include camera technology that lets people take quality pictures in low-light settings, upgrades to the virtual assistant Bixby, and an enhanced audio system. The starting price is just under $720. Pre-orders begin this Friday, and the new models go on sale March 16th. Dan Ackerman from our partners at CNET joins us at the table to discuss. So, Dan, starting price just under $720. That's still pricey. Cheaper, though, than the iPhone 10, which was $999.
It is, and that phone started, the entry price for that phone was $999. I think that scared a lot of people off.
Yeah.
So Samsung, I think, probably looked at this and said, we have to pull it back a little bit. The smaller phone, the S9, is like $719 or $729, and the bigger phone, the S9 Plus, is $839. They'll cost a little bit differently depending on which carrier you get it from, but less.
The big selling price, the camera?
The big selling point for a lot of these is really the camera these days, and the upgrades for this phone, the S9, over the previous version is definitely improvements to the camera, because people use these as cameras probably more than they use them as phones.
What about this personalized emoji technology?
That was super fun. Just like on the iPhone 10, they have those animojis that turn you into an animal. On here, they have got AR emojis.
So you're doing Norah?
I'm going to see if I can create one here.
You're doing Norah.
Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around so it's looking at you. Neutralish face.
Neutral face, okay.
And it's doing it. Female. We're going to hit next.
Does that look like my neutral face?
Neutral face. And there it goes. It's cranking away.
Your resting face looks like you're going to slap somebody, Norah.
Yeah. Well, that's because she's usually smiling, so
and there
we're
it
not
is.
used to
and
it.
look at that. I can move this around in 3D, and then I can change the outfits, and I can change the hairstyle, and then I can save that into a whole bunch of little animated GIFs that you can send people, or you can record little video messages with it.
Can you do John so we can see the boy version?
I know. Let's see if we can do that too.
So is this reality emoji sort of a response to Apple's Animoji?
I mean, this is clearly their version of the Animoji that Apple has. That turns you into an animal. This turns you into an actual version of yourself. But the Animojis work really great because Apple has that 3D sensing front-facing
at the same time. I was thinking the same.
You have to walk and talk here.
I am going to.
Do we need a woman to do this?
I know, really.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to flip it around, and we're going to do, here we go, and it's looking at you.
How's the battery power?
The battery in all these phones is pretty decent, but the big secret is whether it's an iPhone or Samsung phone, get the larger of the two phones, the S9 Plus or the 8 Plus and 10.
John,
look at that.
God, what awful sports team am I just been put on?
Change
You don't
the
have gray
hair
hair.
color a little bit there.
Yeah.
And your eyeliner usually isn't that dark.
No, well, today I'm trying something a little lighter. And so in this case, the emoji is punishment for something I seem to have done wrong.
That's right, and now it will live on forever.
Yeah.
So
We'll be emailing it to each other for years to come.
Dan, how does it stack up against the iPhone 10? Because right now, does Samsung sell more than iPhones?
Globally, they ship more phones than Apple does, but it's really, the two big titans. Almost anyone, especially in the U.S. market, who's getting a smartphone is either getting an iPhone or a Samsung phone.
Do you think people will switch from the iPhone of any version for this?
That's the toughest thing because these phones have such, complex ecosystems. Once you're into one and you get an iPhone 1 year and an Apple Watch and a MacBook and an iPad or a Samsung phone and a Samsung smartwatch. Samsung also makes excellent laptops. It's tough to convince people to switch. You might switch between different brands of Android phone, but going from iOS to Android, it's tough to convince people to do that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, you give this a what?
We have not fully tested it out yet, but it certainly seems, very impressive. It's definitely the big phone of the year, at least until the fall when we see what Apple's going to do.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you,
Dan.